Hey guys, welcome to the monthly reading for January for Scorpio. As usual, it's going to be a general reading, so it will not resonate with everyone. If you feel like it does not apply to your situation, don't force it. But I hope there's a message here for you. So for January, I've chosen to use these 4 decks. Originally it was just 3, but I got this one as a Christmas present, so I included it here. So first of all, we have the Wild Wisdom of the Faery Oracle, which will have, it's the first card I'm going to pull, and it's going to be like the overall mood for the month. The reading itself is with the Muerte Tarot and the Tarot Pagan Cat. And then finally I will pull 1 or 2 cards from the Threads of Fate Oracle. So, Scorpio. Let's see what happens in January for Scorpio. Wow, okay. Let's try that again. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season, and if you don't celebrate anything, at least a good end of the year and beginning of this new one. We are already on the new year. So the card that we have is number 1. Okay, that could be your lucky number this month. 3 Graces. Cooperative ventures with friends. Joy sharing new partnerships that are fun. Well, that sounds like you, Scorpio, doesn't it? I'm also kind of drawn to this. The bottom of the deck we have Fairy Tales, letting go, detachment, moving on. Number 19. I'm going to take it out because it called to me. Feeling important. We can have 2. Okay, it's visible. So, overall mood. Scorpio seems to be having fun with friends. How awesome is that? But letting go, detachment, moving on. So you always need to let go of something before you can get something new into your life, right? You need to make space for something new. New friends, new partnerships, sharing and joy, okay? I'm a Scorpio moon, so I'm okay with that. But it doesn't really sound like something a Scorpio would do. Okay, so the first card we have jumped out already. We have the Hierophant. The first card is the energies you are bringing into January that is affecting your January. Something that happened before, either in December or before, that is now coming into affect your January. The Hierophant. I love this card, it's so colorful. Now usually the Hierophant is kind of it's often depicted as some kind of a priest, or some sort of a teacher, or spiritual or non-spiritual. Someone in charge, and has to do with traditions and following tradition and legal things and all that. But of course, this is the Santa Muerte, so he is depicted with a Ouija board. I think that's how you say it. So, let's see what else comes up. Alone, that's kind of a wild one. Let's see January itself. What is happening for Scorpio in January? What kind of energies? We have the Page of Cups. It's a very Scorpio energy. Water. Page. We have the Five of Cups. Okay, more water. Sadness. Could go to the letting go, detachment, and moving on. And then we have Swords. Another page. Okay. I mean, learning, new beginnings, all that kind. Let's get the last one. The last card is the energies leaving January. So what kind of energies are you? Wow. How are you entering February? What kind of a mood are you leaving January with? Scorpio. Okay, we have two. We have the Magician and the Queen of Cups. A lot of water on the table. Two major arcana, Magician and the Hierophant. That's an interesting pair. It's like a transformation from a Hierophant to a Magician, going from tradition and I keep wanting to say the word dogma. To more, I mean, they're both spiritual in a way, but the Hierophant is kind of knowledge, just knowing things and spreading that knowledge, teaching other people. I don't know what I was going to say. It drifted away. The Magician is a more practical kind of spirituality. It's making things happen. Manifestation. So where you maybe gathered information, sought information from people who knew better. That sounds so bad when I say that. I don't mean it in a bad way. It sounds better in my head. You went to the wise people for whatever information or knowledge or learning or whatever. And at the end of the month, you feel like you're finally at a point where you can put all that knowledge to use. I know Scorpios have this tendency to gather information, right? And just a little note, I didn't mean to diss on Scorpios. I am a Scorpio moon. Just what I know of Scorpios, including myself. The whole joy thing doesn't really fit the image. So sorry if someone got offended with that. Anyway, I feel like here, all that you've gathered, you are putting it to use. The Page of Swords is also about, it's someone who observes and takes notes and kind of maybe even sneakily tries to get information to learn and then to use that. The Page of Cups is kind of like, it's all about emotion. And with this card especially, it's like this lady, I think, not in the least interested in gathering any kind of information. She's just there for all the emotion. She's just like, I want to say globbering. I don't even know if that's a word, but whatever. She's globbering up all the emotions. She's just eating it up from that cup. Happily. Emotional knowledge is also a knowledge. We do have the Five of Cups here, so there could be something that's weighing on you this month. It feels like a kind of an individual event. Sometimes these readings are kind of a continuum, a storyline. And we do have this kind of a mirroring here. We have the Hierophant and the Magician, we have Page of Cups and the Page of Swords, so it's like moving on. But the Five of Cups here feels singular, not necessarily related to the other cards. I also noticed that we have the Hierophant and the Page of Cups, and then we have the Magician and the Queen of Cups. So it's really like an up-leveling from here, like this pair, to this pair. You go from gathering to finally having it all so you can use it. Gathering, you can't really gather emotions, but I'm sure you get what I mean. To this place where you can offer those emotions that you learn to deal with, or you're kind of learning to deal with here. Taking little baby steps to see if you would be ready to kind of offer that heart to someone. Making new friends. And having some kind of a fun sharing partnerships. Yeah, it makes sense now. But there's something that you gotta move on from first. And it's kind of weighing on you. It's kind of on the background here. Okay, let's just start clarifying. It's that Five of Cups. It feels singular. It feels like it's on the background, but it can also be resurfaced at some point in a significant way. It's going to disrupt your whatever project this is. Something from the past can come and bite you in the ass. So we have the another page of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. For the Hierophant, and the King of Wands. There's a lot of people on the table. A lot of people. We have kind of a mismatched couple here. We have the Wands and the Swords, so we have fire and air, and that doesn't really necessarily match. And okay, let's just read it. There's a lot of people here. In a lot of readings, the first card is something kind of negative that happened because it's something that influences your month, but not here. It's not something to overcome. It's just kind of like a starting point. Maybe you met a lot of people, a lot of different kinds of people. Notice that even if they are different kinds of people, they might have something to offer you. Came to my head. Something that you can use, something you can learn, or maybe it made you kind of think that you could open up and actually have some fun with your friends, make friends. Now Scorpios can be kind of closed off. Sometimes you need people that you really connect with to pull you out a little of that whole mysterious moodiness. Let's see the Page of Cups. What does she have to say? It's funny because it all looks very good. It's all good things. But then we have the Five of Cups right in the middle of it, and it's really like there's this kind of heaviness. Oh, you went far. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. We have two aces. On the bottom, we have the Page of Cups. Same, we're just clarifying. So, but like I was saying, there it's again. These are very good cards. It's something. It's the ultimate abundant joy and happiness and love. It's the again abundance, material. Health and wealth and new solid prospects and ideas and everything. Everything is so good. But then there's this heaviness from this Five of Cups. Like this undercurrent of sadness that makes everything seem less. Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords is a dead end. It is all bad. It's the end. It's when everything has gone wrong to a point that it's not salvageable anymore. But we have the Wheel, the Five of Cups, and the Ten of Swords together. That's like, that is so sad. Something was so horribly painful and bad. And it's hard to let go. But we have the letting go, the detachment, the moving on. This is that. Maybe the singular event that I felt here is the end of this. That there has been this undercurrent of sadness. That's, you know, that something, everything good can come to you, but you can never really be happy because of this whatever. And then, boom, Ten of Swords, the end. That's it. There's no lower than that. So it's time to move on. Something ended, or something will end in January, but it will be an end to your sadness. And after that, maybe you can start seeing all these wonderful new beginnings, and you can have fun with your friends, see some joy in your life, not be so pulled down below the surface constantly because of whatever that was. See the Page of Swords here. Five of Swords. The aftermath of a fight. With the Page of Swords, it's like you're really taking... And we have the actual fight here. We have the Five of Wands, too. So there could be some confusion after that, but you just gotta learn from it. Just got this idea of like, don't even engage. If people start something nasty, just clawing at you, just don't even bother. It's not, probably doesn't even have anything to do with you. And I had this idea that after you let go of whatever that was, like, you might be even looking for something else to pull you down like this did, because that's familiar to you. But don't let other people's stupid fights that have nothing to do with you to pull you down. You take note of, okay, I know what's happening there. Nothing to do with me. And you move on. We have the magician clarifying the magician. So when you're finally done letting go and moving on, finally letting that wheel spin, because it's going to spin in your favor. Trust me. You can start seeing these wonderful new beginnings. You can see these wonderful people that are surrounding you. And you can start using all that. Manifesting more of it. If you let go of this negativity, you can start manifesting with that positive energy. For more positive things. How about this Queen of Cups? We have the Empress. Loving, nurturing energy all day. Queen of Cups and the Empress, that's just pure heart. That is sharing and joy and playfulness. New wonderful things opening up to the world. I think we're done with this deck. Let's see the threads of fate. What do they have to say? The Warrior. Okay. Now, there's an important message here for the Warrior. I will read from the book because I don't remember exactly how it went, but it was important. And speak truth. Okay, so we have two swords here. We have two. The bottom of the deck, we have the Observer, and I feel like this is like the kind of energy overall here. And very apt for Scorpio. But that's like moving on from that energy. Because if you are always the observer, you can't just go away. Enjoy time with your friends. Have fun. make friends, go out, enjoy life. If you're just standing there observing. Okay, what am I looking for? The warrior. The warrior. Pulling the warrior card indicates a need for strong fire energy and internal power. The warrior is a call to action as opposed to just a state of mind. The warrior is not about complacency. In identifying where you need to stand up more, you may make those around you feel uncomfortable and defensive, but you must continue forward. That also goes well with what I was just saying about the observer, to move on from that observer energy. But the main thing that I wanted to say from here is about the balanced and unbalanced warrior. The balanced warrior fights to create positive change, but may go about it in questionable ways. They are strong and resilient and do not have fear when they go up against oppressors. When the warrior is imbalanced, they can be very inflammatory and hyper-aggressive. They can push those away that may be of use to them and easily bypass things that are good for them. They don't understand the concept of pick your battles and react with equal intensity, no matter how big or small the issue is. So, I think this is very much linked to here with the five of cups. I just realized we have 555 here. So that can be, there can be a spirit guide message here. Someone needs to pay attention to signs. When you are in this kind of 5 of cups, 10 of swords thing, you can become very protective of yourself, obviously. And the warrior energy, which I think is very kind of Scorpio thing also, can become imbalanced. So when, whatever this is, the end of whatever your sadness was, I don't know because it's a general reading. Moving on from that, be careful not to overdo this whole thing. If people kind of introduce their issues to you, like, don't react too harshly in any way. Take it upon you to fight the fight or whatever. Remember that the wheel here, the wheel can only spin properly without any force put into it. It needs to turn effortlessly. And if you have your energies imbalanced, it might just bring more imbalance into your life. Speak truth. Your soul, heart, and body are always trying to communicate with you. Maybe you find yourself mysteriously drawn to a subject, art form, or genre. Maybe you realize you are buying every purple thing you see. All of these things, whether small or large, are our hearts longing. It is an ember of our truth trying to light within us. In order to nurture that flame, we must breathe life into it, embody it, speak it, embrace it. Tap into your truth in any way you can and give it power by naming it however you feel called to name it. I don't really have anything to add to that. I think that was well put. Notice these new beginnings. Notice what you want to do, to be, whatever it is, beyond this pain or sadness or whatever it is. Don't let it control you in a way that you don't have any fun, because January for you is all about letting go and enjoying yourself in any way that fits you. Also, don't go out to party with your friends if that's not who you are. It needs to be truthful to you. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Scorpio. I hope you got something out of this reading. And have a fun, joyous January. And I'll see you again soon in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.